Yes. Once again, good afternoon to all. Yeah. In the last class, we have seen the concept of inter-thread communication. 1 minute, let me zoom. Inter-thread communication. And also, we have seen the concept of deadlock, how deadlock occurred because of applying the concept of synchronization by seeing some example. Okay. So in today's class, we will see thread group. So the name itself provides a clear meaning. Thread group means grouping of threads. Simply, we can call it as grouping of similar threads. We can call it as thread group. Thread group. I mean, generally, uh, before going to dive into the concept of thread group, let me have small example. For example, how we are going to implement, how we are going to create a thread by extending the concept of thread class. One way is by extending the concept of thread class. Another way is by using runnable interface. These are the two ways we can able to create a thread. We can able to create it. Okay, fine. Now, by seeing or by creating a thread like T1, by creating a thread like T2, by creating a thread like T3, and so on, you have created n threads. You have created n threads, and I started all the threads. Started all the threads. Now, for example, I want to I want to perform some kind of operation over T1, T3, and Tn minus 1. What is that operation? Let us assume that I want to perform an interrupt operation over T1, T3, and Tn minus 1. At the time, what you have to do? You have to call the method interrupt method or not by making the object of T1 thread. T1 dot interrupt, T3 dot interrupt, and Tn minus 1 dot interrupt. You need to call. Here the problem is, observe, try to observe. I am trying to apply same kind of operation. I'm trying to apply same kind of operation. What is that operation? Interrupt operation on various kind of threads. Interrupt operation on various kind of threads like T1, T3, and Tn minus 1. Even though I am applying same kind of operation, I need to write the same code again and again. I need to write the same code again and again. Instead of that, what we can do is, if you want to reduce the code, I can make group of T1, T3, and Tn minus 1 into a one group. That group name I am simply calling it as J. Meaning that what is the functionality of this group? This group having threads like T1, T3, and Tn minus 1. T1, T3, and Tn minus 1. And on this group, if I am able to apply the some kind of operation like interrupt operation, then what will happen? T1, T3, and Tn minus 1 threads are going to be interrupted. What is the main purpose of interrupted? To make awake of sleeping threads. First of all, to make awake of sleeping threads, or to make awake of waiting threads. This is what I have explained in the previous classes. So, by simply applying the functionality on the thread group J. So J is what? J is a kind of thread group. I will show how to create a thread group. J is a kind of thread group. On this group, if I apply the some functionality, not only interrupt or some kind of function or some kind of task on the thread group, then automatically whatever the threads which are participating in that thread group, you are going to get that kind of operation on the same group. Simply what I can do on this one, I can make J dot interrupt method. Simply what will happen? All the threads will be interrupted. See, if you observe the difference between this old process and the present process, Here you require 3 lines of code. Here you require only 1 line of code. For example, if you want to interrupt, you want to interrupt 100 threads. If you want to interrupt 100 threads, what you need to do? You need to write 100 interrupt functions along with 100 lines of code. Instead of that, I can create one group. I can create one group and I can call simple interrupt method on that group, so that all the related threads, all the related method means all the similar kind of threads, meaning that the threads which are having similar functionality, I am going to group into single object. I'm going to group into single object. That is what object? J object. J object. So that is the functionality of thread group. I hope you understand clearly. So thread group is useful for to group the related threads, so that I can able to apply various kind of methods, various kind of methods. Okay, various kind of methods. And for example, I am having thread T1, thread T2, thread T3, and so on, thread TN. Thread TN. These are all I made as one group. I made as one thread group whose name is K. In that thread group, it also contains sub-thread groups. It also contains sub-thread groups. Some kind of thread. So this is the entire thing. We can call it as thread group. So what is the definition of thread group? Thread group is a group of related threads and along with subgroups. Along with the sub-thread groups. Okay. Fine. So first, let me show some example related to the Navi process which we are following, T1.interrupt, T3.interrupt, and Tn-1.interrupt, so that you will get clarity. Okay. Class CSC, I would like to extend thread class, or I would like to implement runnable interface. Anything is enough. I have shown various examples related to thread class, right? Class runnable. Okay. I would like to implement main class thread group. So I would like I can save this first. Dot Java. Public static void box. Right, so make understood clearly. I would so what is the functionality of this CSC class? The functionality of the CSC class is to create thread sum. To create threads. Okay, fine. If I would like to implement, implements is the keyword. Implement, not implement. Okay. If you would like to implementing a runnable interface, you must should have to implement which method? You have to implement run method, because run method is declared as abstract method in runnable interface. So I need to override that method first. Public void run method. Public void run method. Yes. So with this, if I would override this method, automatically a thread is going to create. So I mean, whenever a thread created, the statement that we have written in this run method are going to execute. For example, I will write something for int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, plus system dot out dot println of thread created, thread created, thread created with the name. Guys, do you know how to get thread name? Do you know how to get the thread name? Anybody know? I have already clearly explained that. Thread dot thread dot. I would like to know the which thread? Current thread. Know the current thread dot. Current thread is what? Is a method. In that, I would like to get the name of the thread. Get the name of the thread. I got the name of the thread. Yes. I got the name of the thread. So after that, I mean, I got the name of the thread. Then I would like to get. I would like to make my thread for sleeping for a. I would like to sleep it for some uh, some 1,000 seconds. Thread dot sleep of, for example, 1,000 milliseconds. As you know already, thread dot sleep is what kind of method is going to raise what kind of exception? Checked exception. So you should make it right in the try block. Catch of exception system dot out dot println. Why I am going to write some exception here means whenever I make interrupted, what will happen immediately? Some kind of exception is raised or not? What kind of exception? That is, I want to show it as interrupted exception. In that, while the corresponding thread is in the sleeping state, if I made some kind of interruption, automatically interrupt exception is going to rise. That is going to be handled by the catchy block, and it will show that interrupt exception is raised. Interrupt exception raised. Exception is raised. So this is about all the I would like to make it in the same place. Yeah, for visual purpose, I made the seventh line in the same non-alignment manner. Okay, fine. Runnable interface is implemented. Is alignment is completed? Yes. Whenever thread is created, automatically this for loop is going to execute and it is going to perform its task. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I would like to create a thread. So how we are going to create thread? By making instantiate, right? New CS. New CS. I have instantiated thread. I have instantiated thread. Then what I need to do? I need to call c.start method. Am I right? Right? No. You are going to get nothing. You are going to get nothing. I mean, you are going to get wrong output. Why you are going to get wrong output? Can you guess any idea? Because you are trying to implement run method. You are trying to implement run method. So in run method, we have in runnable interface, we have a method called start method. Space. The method name is the class name is teacher. Dot after what will happen? There is no start method in runnable interface. So that is the reason. What you need to do? I have shown the example here also. So I need to pass. I need to pass runnable interface. See, cannot find a symbol start method. So this is the reason while implementing runnable interface, you have to create thread class. You have to create thread class, and you need to pass which object? Runnable. Sorry, thread interface. Sorry, thread instantiation. Very good. Very good. Very good, Abhishek. Now this contains the start method is available in which class? Thread class now. Now automatically the thread is going to create and it is going to execute the code right now, whichever I have here. Okay. Now if I execute, is there any problem? No. Java space. Yes. What happened? The same thread has created for, has executed for how many times? 5 times. And waiting for how many seconds? 1000 milliseconds. Now my question is, I would like to create multiple threads. Then what I can do? I can create multiple classes, multiple creation of objects. For example, I have created P1, P2. How many threads I have instantiated? 5 threads I have instantiated. Now I would like to uh, create 5 threads. P1, like this. I have created 5 threads. Now, what is the output you can get, guys? Will you get the output like thread 0, thread 0, thread 0, thread 0, and thread 1, thread 1, thread 1, thread 1, and so on? Or will you get the output in a different way? See, observe. You will get the output in a zigzag manner, like non-sequence manner. Observe. Thread 0, 1, 3, 2, 4. 0, 3, 2, 1, 4. 1, 3, 0, 4, 2. Like this, you will get 5 times. Yes. Like this, you are going to get the answer. I hope you know already how we are going to use the thread name for the by the compile by the JVM. Okay, for the user defined threads, they are going to make like thread 0 with the next thread 1, next thread 2, and so on, like that. They are going to give. JVM is going to provide. Okay, observe this. So why you are getting this zigzag output? Because multiple threads are trying to access same critical section code multiple times or not. We observe. The run method is in which section? Critical section. I have created how many threads? T1, T2, T3, T4, and T5. 5 threads I have created, and these are trying to compete each other, and they are going to get some output. They are going to execute the code. They are going to execute the code. See, all these are trying to compete, right? All are going to compete. This condition we call it as race condition. So, what do you mean by race condition? multiple threads multiple threads are trying to compete for to access critical section. What do you mean by critical section? You know already. Critical section means it's a common resource which should be accessible by everyone. Should be accessible by everyone. So as all of threads are trying to access the critical section parallelly, you may get zigzag output. Why? Because thread 1 is accessing something and thread 2 accessing something like that. Okay, I don't want like that. Then what I can use simply, I can go for using the keyword synchronized keyword. Am I right or not? I can use the keyword synchronized keyword. If I use the synchronized keyword, what will happen? Here, there is a point. Before going to access every thread. Every thread need to get a lock of this object. If they get lock, then only they will access this object. So who are going to give lock? Lock is going to give by JVM. From JVM they are going to get. So which one? I mean, for your understanding, I am saying. So we are going to get. Once they got lock, then only they will enter into the run method. They are going to enter into the critical section. So whom will get which thread will got the chance? That depends upon thread scheduler. Okay, fine. Now if I made synchronized, made the keyword synchronized. Now observe, you won't get zigzag output. You always get only 0 0 0 0 and so on, or 1 1 1 and so on, or like that. You observe thread 0 and so on. Now next we got thread 4 chance, thread 5, thread 3, sorry, thread 2, thread 1, thread 1. So this is the concept of synchronization. See, observe what happened after completion of T1. After completion of T1, then only some other thread get chance. That is T4. After completion of T4, then only somebody will get a chance like that. So this is the concept of synchronization. Okay. Now here my interest is I don't want to show. I want to show here the concept of thread grouping. The concept of thread grouping. Now what I will do is, so among these P1, P2, P3, T3, T4, and T5, I would like to perform interrupt operation over T1, T3, and T5. Over T1, T3, and T5. Then how I need to perform interrupt operation? I need to call it explicitly or not? T1 dot interrupt method. T1 dot interrupt, T1 dot interrupt method, T3 dot interrupt method, T5 dot interrupt method. Let us make synchronized keyword so that we will get some clear idea. Observe, observe. Thread created with the name thread 0, meaning that while executing T1, while executing the T1 got some kind of interrupt raised or not? Yes, T1 has interest. Now thread 2 is trying to execute, there is no interruption further. Thread 4 is executing, then it is getting some kind of interruption. So what kind of thread? T1, T3, and T5. T3 means T4 only. Now got the chance of T3. So T2, it is also getting some kind of interruption rise. Am I right or not? Yes. So if I remove synchronization, what will happen is you will get some kind of confusion about where is the interruption occurred. All those you will get confusion. All are doing zigzag manner. So what does it mean, ma? What does it mean, ma? While some thread is in sleeping state, some thread is in sleeping state. If it call the interrupt method, automatically it is going to execute the exception block. It's going to execute the exception block. So here my interest is I don't want to write I don't want to call the interrupt method for each and every specific thread. For each and every specific thread. Instead of that, what I need to do is I need to create one thread group. I need to create one thread group. In that thread group, I need to add the threads T1, T3, and T5. And the remaining threads are I am going to add in another group. So that for the first group, I am going to perform interrupt operation at a single time. And for the second group, if I would like to perform any kind of operation, I can do that. I can do that. Okay. So, meaning that I would like to create one thread group like T1, T3, T5 in one thread group, first thread group. That thread group I am giving it as first thread group, and T2, T4 as another thread group. I am giving that name as second thread group. Second thread group. Okay, fine. So so if you want to add these T1, T3, T5 threads in a single group, first we have to create a thread group. First we have to create a thread group. How to create thread group? In Java, we'll have a predefined class. We'll have a predefined class. That class name is thread. That class name is thread. As you know, so thread group is a predefined class which is meant for to create a group. Which is meant for to create a group, and I can able to add multiple threads into the group, and I can able to perform various kind of operations over the thread group. Various kind of operations over the thread group. Various kind of operations over the thread group. So on this thread group, already it is having various kind of constructors, data members, methods. All these it contains. For example, it contains various kind of methods, various kind of constructors, various kind of data members are there. If you want, I will show profile. Observe. Java Java p space Java dot which package? It is default package, right? Java dot lang dot thread group. Observe. This is the class thread group class which contains various kind of methods. All the data members, all this. See, observe name, max priority, destroy, demon, null, thread array is there, which is meant for some other purpose. Group array is there, thread group. See, constructors are there. What are those constructors? Thread group is a constructor which is accepting string parameter. Thread group is a constructor which is accepting two parameters. One is a thread group, another one is string. So I will explain this constructors. Get name, get parent, get max priority, set demon, get parent, check access, active count, all this void list, void unchanged, thread subscription, string to string, all these various kind of methods are supported by the thread group method. Supported by the thread group method. Okay, fine. See, among all those, let me explain some kind of methods. Some kind of methods. Uh, First one, get thread group method. Get thread group method, which is meant for to get the current executable thread group. To get the reference of the current executable thread group. Current executable thread group. And there is a method called get parent method, which is for to get the name of the thread of the current thread group, which is for to get the name of, what is the difference between these two, one and two, which will get the reference of the current thread, executable thread group, and to get the current executable thread group name, sorry, it is the name, not name, it is name, get name, to get the name of the thread group. There is a method called get parent. Here it is a method called get name, sorry, get parent. So get parent method is meant for to get the reference of the get the reference of the to get the reference of the current executable thread group parent. Current executable thread group current executable thread group parent. For example, my current executable thread is second. Current executable thread group is parent second, and first executable thread is first. Now, if I am trying to execute this one, if I call the parent method, it is going to make refer to which thread group, first thread group. On this one, if I call the get name method, it is going to get the result as get name. It is going to get the result as get name. Okay, fine. Like this, we'll have various kind of methods are there. Something like what I have shown right now. Okay, get parent or various kind of methods continuation. List method. List method. So this list method is going to give the information about the thread group. Give the information about the thread group. I mean, it is going to display. It is going to display what are the threads which are available in the thread group. What are the threads available in the thread group is going to display by the list method. Going to display by the list method. There is a method called active count method. Active count method, which is meant for to display, how many active threads are there. How many active threads are there? I mean, which is going to return number of active threads present in a thread group. Number of active threads present in the thread group. And some kind of methods. There are a lot of methods are there. I would like to discuss only some threads. Enumerate method. Enumerate method is meant for to copy all the threads, to copy all the threads which are present in the system, which are present in the system. While copying, it also includes subthread groups also. It also includes subthread groups. So enumerate method is meant for to copy all the threads which are present in the current executing thread, which may contain subthread groups also. Which is going to have another method like isDemon method. So you know the purpose of isDemon method to check whether the thread group is a daemon or not. So daemon means background execution. I would like to set the daemon thread. I would like to make my group as a daemon group. Then I can use the method. I can use the method set daemon method. Set daemon method. If I would like to interrupt the thread group, then I can use the method interrupt method. If I would like to destroy the thread group, I can make use of destroy method. So whenever you destroy the thread group, automatically all the subthread groups also going to destroy. All subthread groups also destroy. Okay, but these are the ways, some of the methods, and there are a lot of threads, lot of methods are there. Next, we'll see various kind of constructors. So, see how many constructors are there. Just now I have shown in the profile of thread group. There are two types of constructors. One is single parameter constructors. Another one is double parameter constructors. So single parameter constructors like which is accepting string as parameter. Another one is which is accepting thread group as a parameter as well as string as parameter. Observe. Let me take one constructor thread group of string. They are simply saying that it is a string. What does it mean? Here string means it is the name of the thread group. The name of the thread group. So this is the one kind of constructor. Another constructor is thread group of. They said it as thread group. For example, I am taking it as TZ. Reference I make it as TZ. Comma string. What does it mean? The first parameter is parent thread group. Parent thread group, and second parameter is the thread group name. Let me explain here it clearly. Observe guys, in Java, in every Java program, there is one default thread. Am I right or not? There is one default thread. That thread name is what? Can anybody know? The default thread is main thread. Default thread is main thread. Similarly, in Java, there is one default thread. There is a thread. In Java, if there is a thread, then for every thread, there is a default thread group. There is a default thread group. That thread group name is main thread group. That thread group name is main thread group. Okay, fine. I hope you understood. In Java, if there exists any thread, for that thread, defaultly exists there is a one thread group. Default there exists in one thread group. That thread group is name is main thread group. See, I hope you get confused somewhat here. This default thread group is what? Main thread group for which thread? Main thread. See, this is a default thread. So that thread group name is main thread group. Okay, fine. So what I would like to conclude is if the default thread, if it is a user defined thread, it also having a default thread group or not? It also having a default thread group. But this default thread group is what? This default thread group is what? Parent of the current executable block. Parent of the new group. Whatever the group that you have created, for that there is a parent, right? That is a default thread. That is a default thread group. I mean, here based on syntax you can understand. Here, am I passing any kind of thread group name? No. If I am not passing any kind of thread group name, what does it mean? it will take default thread group as parent. Default thread group as parent. Default thread group as parent. But here, whatever the thread group name that I am defining, it will consider as that name as parent thread group. That as parent thread group. Okay, fine. Yes. Let me show some example so that you will get clear idea. I will make all this like this only. I will make some kind of. So how to create a thread group? Thread group. Thread group. Uh, P equal to new. New thread group. Thread group. So what is the default parameter I need to pass? I need to pass the default the thread group name. So if I'm not passing any kind of the thread group parent thread group name, what does it mean? I'm going to get it is having a default executable thread. It is having default executable thread. For example, first I would like to show this one. I would like to show in Java there is a default thread which is having main thread. That main thread default thread having thread group name as main thread. So first I would like to show that. See, right now which thread is executing? Main thread, right? Main thread. Now I would like to show the main thread default thread group name. Dot out dot println of default main thread group is. So how we are going to get that? By calling thread class dot which thread do you need to get? Current thread. Current thread is a method, right? And in that, so if you want to get the reference of the current executable thread, what is the method that you need to use? You need to use the method get thread group. Just now I have explained get thread group method. So we will get the reference of the current executable thread. So for the reference of the current executable thread name you need to print. So which method you need to use? You need to use the method get name method. Okay? Get name method. Try to observe. Fully compile. What happened? Default main thread group is main. Group is main. So by default, every thread group, every thread having a default thread group that is parent thread group. So you got here output as main thread group. Right? So what is the thread group of the main thread? Main thread group. Okay. If I would like to print the parent of the thread, parent, current thread, main thread, parent thread. What I can do, I'm trying to get the reference of the current executable thread. That I want to get the parent thread group name. That name I would like to display. What happened? The default main thread parent thread group is system. The default thread group main thread is system. See, observe, I made some mistake here. The thing is, this is the one I would like to. So what is that? The default thread group for the thread thread so, okay, from how much time you are getting the screen is not sharing, no? So from how much time you are not getting nearly 5 minutes? Then you have to raise that question, right? Last day. Hmm? Yeah. Okay, fine, no problem. Hmm. What happened? See one thread group name. Now I would like to see. What's happening to this program. It is executing the group which I didn't define at all. See, guys, I didn't return any code related to G1 method, all this. First, let me clear the screen. Java C space. Let's open like this. Variables. Also, I will do the same. Where I have closed that first line number 22. That line number 20 doesn't having the object G1. Okay, fine. Choose some. Why it is calling this? Okay, maybe it executing this one. Okay, fine. See, observe, guys. It is executing some other group. I would like to. Even though now it may call this one. But very hard one. So I would like to delete this file now so that it will be fine. The group dot class. Oh, I have deleted. Backup file also I will delete. Now our problem may be rectified. I think so. I'm sorry. I don't know why it is calling that. Yes, it is successfully compliant. Java space. See up the first thread group name is main. First thread group name is main. Why you got the first thread group name is main? Because presently executing the user defined thread group. For this, the default thread group name is the default parent thread group name is string. What is the default parent thread group name? Main. The default thread group name is main. Okay, fine. So I hope you followed this one, right? First, let me. Guys, have you seen this statement? Have you observed this statement? Tell me once. I have written like current thread dot. Mm, I have written something. Get thread group dot get name. Get thread group dot get name. Guys, have you seen this one or not? Is this one is visible in the screen for you at the time of execution? Okay, fine. Then go. Then go. I hope you understood right now. Okay. Thank you, Amma. Thank you. Yeah. So I hope you understood right now. If I remove this one, if I remove this one, what is the output you will get? What happened? EC1. EC1 is the third group. EC1 is third group. If I make get parent, if I make get parent method, what will happen? It is going to get the parent name of the EC1 thread group. Parent name of the EC1 thread group. So that is main thread group. So I hope you got clarity on this. Yes, fine. For example, the second type of two double parameter I need to pass. Thread group name TGP equal to new thread group name of. So what I need to pass? I need to pass the parent thread group name. What is the parent thread group name? For example, I am passing TG1. For example, I am passing TG1. I would like to make the thread group name as a ECE2. Instead of this, like this. First, second. I would like to print the same thing. One second. Second thread group name is, or first thread group parent name is, second thread group parent name is, meaning that I have passed two parameter and single parameter. Here what you will get the output, you will get the output as first. For the 24th line you will get the output as main number. If I remove this one, you will get for both, you will get the name as first one. Got see, I need to pass here also this one. This is tg2 dot tg2 dot. If I made get name, if you made get name, what will happen? You will get the answer as second. You get the answer as second. If I made get parent, your answer as first. Uh, I will complete as soon as possible. You get the answer as first one. So like this, you will create a thread group. Okay, fine. I have created thread group now. I have created thread group. So how many thread groups I have created? Two thread groups I have created. Okay, instead of making this, I will make the thread groups like this. I have created two thread groups. One is first, another one is second. Another one is second. Now what I would like to do is I would like to add T1, T3 and T5, T1, T3 and T5 in one group, and T2 and T4 are in another group. And T1 and T4 are in another group. Guys, if you observe the profile of thread class java.lang dot thread class. Java.lang dot thread class. I have explained while explaining the constructors. I have shown some kind of constructor. I am passing runnable interface, string, thread group name, comma, runnable interface, comma string. So this constructor I will use here. So this is what for group name. This is for group name, and the second parameter is runnable interface name. Third one is string name. Observe. So I have instantiated thread. Now I would like to create various threads. Thread T1 equal to new thread of. So the T1 thread I need to add in which group? TG1 group. That is the object I need to pass. So for which thread? I need to add C thread. Reference I need to pass. And the thread name, what is the thread name? The thread name is, for example, T1. Name is T1. I hope you understood more clearly. The first parameter is meant for which thread group I need to add the thread, created thread, and for which object I need to add. So this is for TG1, second one is for TG2, this is for TG2, and this is for TG1. T2, T3, T4, and T5. I hope you understood. T1 is the created thread added in the group TG1, whose name is T1. Whose name is T1. This is T2, T3, T4, and T5. I hope you understood. But for all for only single reference, meaning that for only C reference, child class only. Now I would like to start everyone, right? I would like to start every. Is there any change that you will get observed? Nothing. No change observed. It will create the name. See, observe. In the previous, you got the names. In the previous, you got name like thread 0, thread 1, thread 2, and so on. Now you got the thread names as the names which you have given like this. The name that you have given like this. Meaning that if you didn't define, they make it as thread 0, thread 1, and so on. If you give, they make it as T1, T2, T3, and so on. Now my purpose is I would like to make a call of interrupt. I would like to make a call of interrupt method. How we are going to call the interrupt method? By simply calling group. What is the group name? For example, tg1 dot interrupt method. tg1 dot interrupt method. Meaning that the threads which are added in this group, are going to make interrupted. That's it. For example, I made it as synchronized. Even is interrupted or not? Yes. So instead of writing multiple lines of code, I can make it as of all this. So based on the type of chance it got, it is going to rise and interrupt. So this is the concept of thread grouping number. So if you would like to use various kind of methods, you can use. So active count method, which is meant for what? So which is meant for how many threads are active in the group. Threads are active in the group. For example, int count equal to tg1 dot active count. Tg1 dot I would like to bring active threads. Is going to get all the threads. You may get the answer at different times. Don't worry. So observe active threads in the group is 3. Active thread in the group, meaning that TG1 thread having how many threads? How many threads? 3 threads. So all that is why they have given displayed as 3. If you would like to get the information about what are all the threads present in the thread group, then what I can do? I can simply make a list. Simply make list method. Simply I will write tg1 dot. Doesn't written anything. It is going to it is executing again. Observe, guys, have you got the output or not? The thread created with the name T3, the thread created with the name T3. and thread T15 first, T35 first, and T55 first, meaning that what is the second parameter? The priority of the threads. So T1, T3, T5 are present in a single group. So this is all about the information about the list. The list. So like this, you can use various kind of methods. Enumerate method. So if you would like to use enumerate method is going to do what? All threads which are present in system group. System group is what? Is the default group for the main thread. Default thread group for the main thread. So if you would like to copy all the threads which are in the system thread group, then we can use the method called enumerate method. So before going to use that, you would like so that enumerate method. If you see the profile, if you see the profile of that method, it is going to return array of threads. It is going to return array of threads. So first you need to create first you need to create the array. So I have created the thread array with size of 10. Size of 10. Then what I will do is I would like to copy all the threads into this array. Make copy all the threads into this array. So what is the thread group name? Easy1 dot easy1 dot enumerate method I will call. Enumerate of into which thread array, into which array I need to copy tier. Into which array I need to copy tier. So I have copied into tier, meaning that copying copying threads into thread names. Copying thread names into thread names into array. Now if you would like to display, I will simply take one array int I equal to 0, I less than. So if you would like to pass, you can pass. You can take length of that array. So maybe here we'll get some kind of problem. Then I will use system dot out dot println of I plus thread name is thread name is you can call here what uh, t of I dot t of I dot, but this is already which what is the name of the method which you want to call get me dot get me. Now try to execute. What happened? Zero thread name is T1, first name is T3, and second thread name is T5. Meaning that whatever the threads that are there in the thread group, it is going to print or not. Then you got the exception like null pointer exception. When you are going to get the null pointer exception, so you are going to get somewhere. So when all the references are completed, you will get the null pointer exception or not. Yes. So you can overcome that. Uh, how can you remove that, if for example reference that reference I think so, if it is null, I can simply perform break. I think so. You can work on that. Executing observe what happened. Thread cannot be converted to boolean. Yes. T of I, right? T of I contains what data? Thread group. Yes. Now also I think you will get the same error. What I can get. Okay, this error you can rectify now. So here you are getting you are getting because of reference error. Some kind of reference. So mm, something 50 P of I contains something. Okay, you can rectify this. You can add. You can remove this null pointer exception. I think so. So why I made that thing? Because I want to remove that null pointer exception. That's it. Observe here you got the null pointer exception that you can rectify. Okay. So this is the concept of head grouping. I hope you understood it very clearly. Thank you.